If you've watched Disney's Aladdin, you'll recall how the protagonist resorted to stealing food to survive. Despite facing judgment for his actions, he ultimately proved himself worthy of greatness, earning the title of Diamond in the Rough. It's a familiar tale with a happy ending, albeit with a touch of Disney magic. While real life may lack genies and flying carpets, I wish, hunger remains a harsh reality for many in the US. In the poorest neighborhoods, there's no genie or lamp to aid those desperate for a meal. Such miracles seem reserved for the silver screen, don't they? But what if I told you there are real-life magicians wielding no wands or enchanted objects? What if I told you that the greatest magic lies in helping others? Whether you're a believer or not, stay tuned for a remarkable story. Cedric Taylor is the protagonist of today's story, a humble and hardworking man from the city of Toledo, Ohio, who, as fate would have it, ended up being the main witness of an event that will leave you speechless and that managed to move half the world. Now, although Cedric is our witness and the voice that brought this story to life, the real protagonist of our tale will not be him but another man, one just as hardworking as him or even more, and also a native resident of Toledo, the owner of a local downtown 7-Eleven, Mr. Jitendra Singh. Jitendra Singh had been behind a counter his whole life. He was 56 years old and had never been on vacation for more than 2 weeks. Not because he couldn't afford it, but because he loved his job. He was the kind of person that if he didn't work, he felt he was wasting his time. Retirement's overrated. In my opinion, people should work until our bodies tell us it's enough. You have to die tired and having given everything, otherwise what's the point? Singh used to tell his clients when they talked to him about the possibility of retirement in the not-too-distant future. Jitendra was a man with an affable and amusing character, although when it came to his private life he was very reserved. No one knew him well enough to consider him a friend, but that didn't prevent everyone from holding him in high esteem. Working to serve others and offering them everything they needed for their daily lives was his passion. He could work all day long and never get tired of it. That was his mission in life, and he dedicated body and soul to fulfill it every day from 8 in the morning till 9 at night. And it was precisely during one of those long and tireless working days that something happened that is worth remembering and that made this humble man the center of attention for several weeks. It all happened during a spring afternoon when Mr. Singh was tidying up one of the shelves in his grocery store. It hadn't been a good day. Barely 30 people had entered the store all day and profits over the last month had been meager, causing Jitendra's bad mood to be on the rise over the last few weeks. However, no setback was serious enough to make this humble worker give up, and despite the bad times he was living through, Mr. Singh continued to work in his store without a break from dawn, without complaining and without reproaching anyone. Even his bad mood didn't cause his kindness and closeness to his customers to disappear. He was a true example for anyone to follow. It seemed impossible that anything could disturb him, but everyone has a limit, even Jitendra Singh, and there came a day when his patience ran out. Although he did it in a way that no one expected and that earned him the respect and admiration of all, even more so. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, a young teenager, no more than 16, entered the store with a very suspicious attitude. He was wearing a white sweatshirt with a hood up, which already hinted at his bad intentions. The store owner, Jitendra Singh, noticed the activity and kept a close eye on him since he entered the store, which wouldn't stop the inevitable from happening. There were only 3 other people in the store at the time, including our other protagonist I told you about at the beginning of the story, Cedric Taylor, who'd come to the grocery store to buy himself some dinner after spending the day away from home working. Despite the obvious surveillance he had, the teenager didn't stop and continued to wander around the store. He was walking erratically and aimlessly, scanning the shelves with eyes and touching everything within reach. He continued like this for a few more minutes, and thinking that no one would notice, the boy stuffed a couple of sandwiches in his sweatshirt pocket and a can of cola, nothing else. Afterward, he'd retraced his steps very slowly and tried to act natural as he walked towards the exit door as if nothing had happened. He was about to open the door when the store owner stopped him. The boy felt as if his heart was about to burst out of his chest. For a moment, as he turned around, he thought he could get free, run away, and pray that he wouldn't be followed. But it was too late. He had just committed a robbery, a serious crime, and he had been caught. You think I didn't notice what you put in your pockets? Hey, look me in the face when I talk to you. If you're so brave to steal my food, you can also be brave enough to look me in the eyes and admit what you've done, said Mr. Singh, very indignant as he strided up to the boy and cut him off. The young man didn't dare to look up. He'd remained motionless in the middle of the corridor with his hands in his pockets. Seeing the boy's attitude, Jitendra told his cashier to call 911. Hearing him say that, the young man reacted very frightened and told Jitendra he was only stealing because he and his younger brother were hungry and had nothing to eat. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. Please don't call the police, please. I'm not a thief, I swear. It's the first time I've ever stolen anything. And it's clear I'm not good at it, but I did it out of necessity. If I had any other choice, I would never have stolen anything. For God's sake, I'm dying of shame. My little brother and I are starving. I can take more, but my brother is only 9 years old. He needs to eat. Please, I'll give you back everything. Don't call the police. begged the teenager desperate. At that moment, Jitendra told the cashier to hang up with the 911 operator. He was still angry and his face was very serious, but something in him had changed. He moved a little closer to the boy and held him gently by the shoulder before speaking to him again. If you need help, ask for it. If you are hungry and don't know how to help your family, ask for help. If you are alone and have no money to eat and support your family, ask for help. It's easier than it looks, I know. I'm proud too, and it's hard for me to recognize that I need help, but it's the only way to get ahead. Do you understand what I'm saying, boy? Asked Jitendra with a much kinder paternalistic tone. The young man nodded, not quite understanding where this conversation would lead them. At that moment, there was a deathly silence in the store, broken only by the muffled sound of the cars passing by on the highway. Everyone present stood very still, listening and staring at the store owner, intrigued to know how he would solve the problem of the robbery. What no one expected was the way he would do it would blow them all away. What's your name? Jitendra asked again. Ryan, sir, I'm sorry for what I did. The boy began, but Singh interrupted him again. Are you hungry, Ryan? Singh said, staring into his eyes. There was no anger in his gaze. He was strangely calm and his eyes radiated peace. Yes, sir. As I told you, I have a little brother who's also hungry, otherwise I wouldn't have dared to take anything. The boy admitted, very embarrassed, lowering his eyes. His hands were shaking and his voice was trembling. What would happen next was unexpected to anyone. Singh turned around and headed toward the counter. He grabbed a large plastic bag and headed toward the snacks. He picked up 4 freshly made sandwiches and sausage rolls and threw them into the bag. If you are hungry and want to eat, I will give you food. But I'll give you real food and not the junk you were trying to carry around in your pocket, the owner told him as he stuffed a whole pizza, a couple packets of cereal, 2 bottles of milk, some rolls, and a 2-liter bottle of soda into the bag. As he did so, everyone in the store held their breath. No one understood what Mr. Singh was doing, but neither did they dare ask him why he was doing it or contradict him. Then, after putting in a last bar of chocolate and some donuts, Jitendra walked over to the young man and handed him the bag. The boy couldn't believe what was happening to him and his mouth hung open. He took the bag and asked the owner why he was giving him all that food. Do you give me food as a gift after I tried to rob you? The young man asked incredulously. Because what you need is help, not to be thrown in jail and die of fear. You're hungry? Well, I have food, it's settled. If you need something, ask me. I want to help others, but for that to happen, you first have to explain to me what's happening to you. Understood? Said Jitendra, looking at him warmly. Ryan grabbed the bag and trying to hold back the tears threw his arms around him. Thank you so much, sir. You don't know how much what you've done means to me. I'll never forget it. Ask me for anything you need. If I can help you in any way, I will. Anything, said the boy while hugging him very excitedly. It's no big deal, kid. Relax. Don't cry no more. Take the food and enjoy a proper dinner. We'll talk later. Now get out. Come on, said the store owner, trying to keep his composure and not get too excited. Everyone there applauded Jitendra's action, but it didn't stop there. Cedric Taylor was so impressed by what the owner of the venue had done, he didn't hesitate to share it all on his Facebook profile when he got home that night. I thought it was amazing what the owner did. I was so touched that I gave the young man $10. Some young people just need to know that someone cares. That man gave him back the faith he had lost. He reached out to him instead of putting him behind bars like anyone else would have done, Cedric wrote in his post. After the post went viral, Jitendra's received accolades from all over the country for his contribution to changing the course of the needy young man's day. However, he didn't want to make a big deal out of it, explaining that he tries to use his position as a store owner to help those in need. His success was so great that Mr. Singh was even invited to news channels to give his statement of facts. In one of his statements to a local news channel, Jitendra said, "It makes no difference to me to give him some food because we make a lot of food, we sell a lot of food. But if he goes to jail, he's not going to do any good in life. He just needed a little help and guidance, and that's what I tried to give him." Not only that, Jitendra said he would be happy to offer the teenager a job to help him make ends meet. Goodness at its best. Did you like this touching and surprising story? If so, we invite you to leave us a comment expressing your opinion. If you want to continue enjoying inspiring stories like this one, subscribe to our channel or check out the other videos shown at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your cooperation.